Look, here's what nobody tells you about Ali Abdaal's success. While everyone's obsessed with his 6.4 million subscribers, 70% of his revenue doesn't even come from YouTube. It's from his email list, generating over $3 million annually on autopilot. So YouTube might have made him famous, but email is what's making him rich. Most creators are leaving millions of dollars on the table thinking email marketing is dead, chasing algorithms, while Ali has a direct pipeline to his audience's wallets. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 5-step monetization system and how you can steal it. And make sure to stay to the end because I'll be explaining why this is more important than ever with all the changes in the algorithms across social media right now. So let's jump right into it. Most of the information that I've found in this video can be found in this video right here. So if you're interested, go verify. I'll link his original video in the description. Go check it out and see. And before I jump into this a little bit, who am I to talk about this and why should you care? Well, I worked directly with Patrick Bet-David for 5 years. I helped him grow YouTube channels from 0 to 400,000 subscribers, produced over 500 pieces of long-form content, grew a newsletter to 200,000 subscribers, generated over 6 million in revenue using monetization systems that I'm now helping creators build on their own on the back end of their businesses. As you can see here, working with Patrick, shooting some content, being on a podcast, some of the revenue charts from Shopify, from Stripe, you have grown email lists and so on and so forth. But since then, I've been working behind the scenes with the biggest creators, building out monetization systems that actually make them money, right? And here's what I've discovered. Most business owners and YouTubers on that end are stuck in the hamster wheel working for money instead of creating systems that make money, right? But Ali has figured it out. And by the end of this video, you'll have the exact blueprint. So let's take a high-level overview of what he has in place. So if we look at this right here, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. First step is the content, creating valuable content, right? This is a flywheel system where you need attention top of funnel, and then you can go to the next steps, right? Second is building lead magnets that bring people into your system. And ideally in the process, they segment them as well, because then you know how to give them better value very quickly, and you can speed up step 3, which is the nurturing through the email list, right? So now you can send people emails, and you're nurturing them in a process where even if they're not consuming your YouTube videos, even if they're not on the platform, you're still top of mind in their inbox. They're seeing your name daily, and they are getting nurtured to make a buying decision, right? Step number 4 is building a list of buyers. So it's cool to have subscribers is one thing. It's cool to have, it's cool to have YouTube subscribers. It's cool to have email subscribers, but what's even better is someone who spent money with you. Why? Because if somebody spends money once, they're way more likely to spend more money later on. So Ali has a bunch of offers, which are just a matter of getting people in the door, getting them used to spending money with him so that he can then sell them higher, more expensive things later on. And step 5 of this process is launching high-value cohorts, or if you want to look at it from a more general perspective, launching high-ticket products, right? So that becomes the flywheel process. Now, in the rest of this video, we're going to go through exactly what this looks like and how you can set this up yourself. So one thing I want to mention is this monetization system isn't only for organic content. I just had a client who I helped build out a funnel for, where we segmented his list, and on $1.9 thousand in ad spend, he turned that into $15,000 in revenue in the first 60 days with an 8 ROAS and 13,000 of that being profit. So we're using the same monetization system that I'm essentially breaking down, just with tweaks here, right? Quiz responses were coming in at 90 cents a piece. Book meetings came in at $29 for warm or $43 for cold, with 80% show up rates. So putting them through this monetization system, segmenting them and nurturing them really increases the quality of the client acquisition channel and gets them to the process. So if you're interested or you want to see if I can be of help to you, click the first link in the description. Love to hop on a call, learn a little bit more, and we'll go from there. But let's jump right back into the video here. So step 1, generate traffic through top of funnel content, right? So what Ali has done is he creates top of funnel broad content. So he has anything from, like, a lot of these things are checklists or resources where 9 passive income ideas, how to invest for beginners, how to manage my time, right? 6 side hustles for students. If I started a YouTube channel, how he tracks his time. And what you see overall is they're very action-oriented videos, but they create what's called implementation anxiety. Meaning, if I send you, here's 20 things you need to do, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know what to do. What am I gonna do? So the idea here is that he's overloading you with free content to the point where you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, this is too much. I can't implement all of it, right? And what happens at the end then is he says, don't worry, I have this implementation check guide, or I have this resource for you. So what's happening in the process there is he's providing a ton of value, opening a loop to where now they're like, I really enjoy his content. I see him as a teacher, but at the same time, he's overwhelming them with too much information for them to do anything. And now when he then at the end of the video says, I have this implementation guide for you, or I have this check guide for you, or download this PDF, they're automatically on it because they think this will help them, right? To solve the implementation anxiety, which goes back to why the concept of give away all your best work for free works. Because guess what? People aren't going to take action. That's just the way it is. So by giving them a lot of value, you're getting a lot of perceived goodwill. And now you're also positioning yourself to be the one who helps them when they decide to actually implement the stuff. Now, creating good content is just step one. But here's what separates the creators making thousands from the ones making millions. And it's happening after someone watches your video. So step two, build a data-rich email list, right? So the thing you have to understand about YouTube, creating content, any sort of creator economy, is that you are building on someone else's platform. You need to bring people into your own ecosystem, which starts with a owned email list, right? And before I jump into this overall in terms of the value of the email list, one of the quick things I want to show you here is Neil Patel did a study on what is a social media follower worth versus what is an email subscriber worth, right? So he asked 1,000 marketers and he asked, would you rather have 1,000 followers or 1,000 email subscribers? Almost 70% said they'd rather have email or social media followers versus email subscribers. But then once they looked at what are 1,000 subscribers on either social media or email worth on a monthly basis, what you'll see here is insane. $79 a month are 1,000 followers worth. $582 is what 1,000 email subscribers are worth. So it's like 8 times bigger in the discrepancy of the value of social media versus the value of email subscribers. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this, because it's an owned list. And in the case of Ollie, what he's doing is he's not just creating generic lead magnets. He's creating specific lead magnets for specific use cases. So if we look here, he has create a 6-figure lifestyle business, right? Here are journaling prompts. Here's this. And the idea here is that he is bringing people from his YouTube channel for the concept of come for the tool, stay for the network. So this is something that a AC16, which is like a huge venture capitalist, kind of coined the term of how you build a lot of things is you have a tool and then on the back end, they come for the network, right? So for instance, Instagram had a tool where it was very easy to upload pictures and to post things online, and it had the filters in the beginning, right? But then as you keep posting pictures on Instagram, you stay. And then now we don't even use the filters, or some people do by all means. But the idea is we don't care about that anymore because now it's the network that sticks with it. So what Ollie understood was I can't necessarily get 300,000 people to join my list just because I want them to read my emails and to receive my marketing, but he's giving them tools to where they feel like, oh, I'm benefiting from this to join the list because now I'm getting the checklist guide, or I'm getting the implementation guide, or I'm getting the journal prompts, right? So he's getting them in through the system where he's now creating content, and then he's funneling people into his email list, and through the segmented emails, he is now being able to segment the right people so he understands what they're interested in, what they're looking for, right? Because the biggest thing he understands is the algorithm. On YouTube, on social media, right now, everything is built in a way where it's a for you algorithm, which means if you have a really good video and you keep posting and you have with videos that are performing worse, your subscribers don't matter. Your followers don't matter. The big tech is not going to show your video to people who don't care to watch it, which is based on your average view duration, click-through rates, this, that, and the other. So the challenge with this is if Ollie has 6 million subscribers, when he posts a video, 6 million subscribers don't see the video. Like, that's not the case. Only a small handful of people are getting the video in their feed. And then depending on how they react, depending on how good the video is, it might get pushed further, right? But with email, deliverability is 100%. I hit send, I send the email, I have 10,000 subscribers. It's going to land in 10,000 subscribers inboxes. Now, spam, different story. It might be a little bit different there, but everyone's going to get the email. That's the difference. On social media right now, say you've spent years building up a following. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Me or anyone with a smaller audience can post a better piece of content and it will have bigger reach regardless of how many followers we have. So that's why it's key right now to understand that if you're building on borrowed land, you're in deep trouble, because the way to build now is on an owned list where you're not fighting for the algorithm. The biggest component of this also is the aspect of quality versus quantity. If you want to sell someone in your audience or you want to sell them something, right? If they're not willing to join an email list or take these micro actions towards the direction of more buy-in, what makes you think they're going to buy a product that they have to pay for? So if you can segment your list and bring anyone who subscribes to your list from your content is going to be a higher quality audience. And if you can reach them directly and you can stay consistent in front of them, what's bound to happen at that point is you're going to get more sales. But capturing emails is just the beginning, because here's where most creators lose millions of dollars. They get the email address and then nothing. They don't know how to turn subscribers into paying customers. And that's where step 3 is crucial, right? Segment and nurture subscribers. So the thing about Ollie Abdaal, which he's doing very well, is he has segmented email flows. So if you're interested in a certain thing, he will talk to you about that more, right? And he's using a tool called Write Message, where as soon as someone subscribes, what you see here is the second part, which is now a follow-up question. Okay, cool. Is improving your productivity important to you? Yes or no? It's great that you want to improve your productivity. So if you say yes, right? What's the main thing? Managing time, staying focused. Do you have a system to manage productivity? He's asking all these follow-up questions. He now knows if you own a business. What kind of business do you run, right? What should I sell? How should I sell it? How big is your team? So we can provide the most relevant content. What's your primary focus? To achieve your goal in the next, how can we help? Strangely weird. What's your relationship to my content? People are literally telling him how warm they are from an audience standpoint. How aggressively can he sell? What can he do? People are telling him in this process by him asking. And I know firsthand, of the people who opt in, 80% are filling out all these questions, and he's learning everything about his audience, which, if you don't know, when you can personalize an experience, you're going to see up to 760% increase in revenue because it's customized. You're sending the right message to the right person at the right time. On average, open rates go up by 65%, 50 to 100% increase in click-through rates. Customization and segmentation is the key to being able to deliver value at scale to people while maintaining high open rates, high click-through rates, and driving a lot of revenue, which is why he has the system he has. Now, the second thing that he's using as well is a quiz here. So he has a quiz top of funnel as a lead magnet, which serves for the same purpose, to understand where people are and what they're doing. And in this quiz, he's basically asking, okay, how many subscribers do you have, right? How many videos have you made in total? Roughly, how much are you making? And then he goes into all these personal questions in terms of how you feel like you do on YouTube, and how good are you, and what are areas you're comfortable with. And he's ranking you by the interactive quiz. And the reason people want to go through this quiz is because at the end, they get a report. So it's like, hey, here's your YouTube growth potential quiz, right? And what it's showing is, okay, finding your niche 100%, like what it is, right? My YouTube channel now is 66% optimized according to Ali Abdaal. And as you go through it, he's providing you value. But first, consider joining the part-time YouTuber Academy. So now I took the quiz and he's selling me on the solution because he's diagnosed what I'm missing and how I can be helpful. And then now he's providing an offer and he's showing me all these other people and how this helps because I've found my niche, but I can build, he can build systems. I can keep people watching, earn the click, right? He's going through this process. He's taking everything I told him in the quiz and he's using it against me to sell his product and explaining exactly how he can help by making this unique. Now, what he used to do was before he had 3 variations of this offer. It was a do-it-yourself, which was just the course. It was done with you in terms of a self-paced cohort, and then there was the more done-for-you solution in the form of a cohort. Now, after having ran this for, I think he's ran 6 or 7 cohorts for 3 years, he is now built it out as a go at your own pace course, but it started off with it. So if people were saying, hey, I have X amount of dollars to invest in YouTube, he would push them to the right avenue on his program. If they were saying, I have 5X, he would push them to the more expensive thing. If he says, I have 3X, okay, middle item, right? So he's meeting people where they're at and then seeing how he can help them to ultimately drive revenue for himself, but also help them with their YouTube. Now, this nurture sequence is obviously powerful. We've seen that, right? But here's where Ollie makes his real money. And it's something that most creators never even attempt, right? He is building a list of buyers, meaning he has lead magnets to low ticket offers. So if you see here in terms of you click here, I want to launch and grow your YouTube channel in just 7 days, right? This is a 7-day free email course that he has, which you put in your name and your email. Then you get submitted to this page. Boom, right away. Want to level up before your first lesson? Save $10 on the viral thumbnail templates and YouTube OS, which means if you see here, get the bundle for $56. People sign up for a free email off of the ads, and then he is instantly trying to create low ticket buyers. $56. Okay, cool. What's in it? Normally it's $66. I guess I get $10 off. You get the viral template. Like, here's what's in it. And this is how it works. And then after, if you say, hey, yes, or if you say no, then he sends you to the survey because, again, he wants to know the information and understand how he can segment you as the audience, who you are, what you do, so he can send the right message at the right time. And this is where the genius is because he's capitalizing on incoming traffic. He is bringing people into his ecosystem, and then he's finding a way to sell them, which you could see here again, $27 training, or the crash course, which is a 7-day value, which he's then trying to sell you something on the back end, right? He is bringing people in to his ecosystem through lead magnets. He's capitalizing on it, trying to liquidate the ad spend right away, meaning he is now trying to create buyers instantly. And this is very similar to what I built out for Patrick David when I built out a quiz for him, where we had people come in a quiz for a personality training to understand what drove them, right? They got 1 of 4 results. When they got the result, we basically said, hey, congrats, here's the result. Here's what it means. Here's what you need to be careful about. But if you want to really understand and go a deep dive into your personality training, we put together a training that you can buy, and it's $39. And if and when they bought it, which was totally up to them, after that, we had a $99 upsell because it was, hey, cool, you understand what drives you, but your spouse, your business partner, your employee, they're different. So they are probably driven by different things, right? And at that point, what you want to do is now you want to learn how to drive them. So we put together the bundle for $99, and the uptake rate on that was 80%. So you're talking, we're getting people to take a free quiz. They buy the $39, and then 8 out of 10 buy the upsell for $99. So that's how you create a monetization system of low ticket buyers, because guess what these people are going to do? They're going to consume the product. They're going to be more bought in. And whenever you have something later on, they are going to be more willing to spend because they're used to spending money with you. Now, the other big aspect is that you are doing what's called liquidating ad spend, which in this case means You're spending money on creating buyers and building your email list, but in the same cycle, it's paying off so that now you can run your credit card and you put $5,000 on ads, you run through the process, and then by the end of the month, when you have to pay your credit card, you've now made $6,000, which means you just took the money you made from the ads, you pay off the ad spend on your credit card, and now next month you have much more subscribers and much more qualified buyers, which you can now pitch your next offer. Which comes to the last step: launch a high-priced product. For Ali Abdaal, this was his cohort. He only used email to launch and sell his part-time YouTuber. So we talked about this. He has 6 million subscribers, but he has an email list, which was the only thing he used to drive Part-Time Academy. And the first launch in 2020, the first cohort, they did 280,000. In 2021, he did 3 cohorts at 2,050,000 approximately, right? Year 3, they did 3 cohorts again, 1.7 million. Total revenue from the 7 cohorts, $4 million. And it was all driven through email because he didn't post about it in his videos. He didn't make it all public and talk about it. Maybe a little bit on other social medias, but YouTube mainly, nothing. YouTube's evergreen. So for him, he just posted on his email list, and what he used was the OTR email strategy. Opportunity, first in his sequence, he showed them what's possible. Then he used what's called the transformation, which now he's sharing success stories of all the other people they went through the cohort and how they've changed their lives and how their YouTube channel's blown up. And then he uses the result, which again is providing proof and testimonials, because the proof beats the promise, right? So if you're going to do anything, we can all promise whatever we want, but if we have proof that other people achieved this promise that we have, in that case, now people are much more likely to buy. And the big thing that he did was he was selling for a certain window and then he closed. So his cohort was only available for such a long time, and if you didn't miss the deadline, he closed it. He stopped. People couldn't buy. Now, what happens in this case is you have a bunch of people who didn't make it, who are like, oh, I didn't make it. Can you please let me in? No, you're not being let in because you missed it. But what you can do is join the wait list, and then maybe if we're doing another one, you'll be the first to know. And that's how you create constant flow of traffic of people who want to join. And then as soon as you launch the next one, you open it up, you sell it. I think one of these launches, he had like $70,000 in a day of sales that came through it. So why is this kind of, what's the benefits of this process, right? You're creating a warmer audience, you're creating higher trust, you're priming people to buy, and it's all automated once you set up the system. So to repeat in terms of how this content system works, number 1, you create content or substitute this with run ads. Number 2, grow your email list. Number 3, nurture and segment customers. Number 4, identify low ticket buyers. And number 5, upsell buyers to create more value for both you and for the customer in terms of a better experience. So there you have it. That's the 5-step monetization system that Ali Abdaal uses and that most big creators are implementing in one way or another. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you want help with something like this, click the first link in the description. Having said that, I look forward to the next video. Take care.